Hello and welcome to the Rotary Club of Broadbrook, Connecticut's Service Above Self. I am your guest host, Bhumika Thapa Shaha. This time on Service Above Self, we will be talking about the Rotary Foundation's Group Study Exchange Program, better known as GSE. The GSE program is a unique cultural and vocational exchange opportunity for business people and professionals between the ages of 25 and 40 who are in the early stages of their careers. The program provides travel grants for teams to exchange visits in paired areas of different countries. For 4 to 6 weeks, teams made up of 4 to 6 non-Rotarians and 1 Rotarian team leader experience the host country's culture and institutions, observe how their vocations are practiced abroad, develop personal and professional relationships, and exchange ideas. Myself and the other individuals you will be meeting today are GSE team members from Nepal that are visiting Rotary District 7890 in Connecticut and Massachusetts. I have with me our team leader Pancha Kumari Manandhar and teammate and nursing instructor Diana Shakya. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Firstly, Pancha, would you like to tell our viewers about what this GSE program is all about and also about the selection process? I know it was very competitive and we were really glad that we made through.
Thank you, Bhumika. I'm really delighted to tell you something about the GSE team. As GSE team is one of the unique experience which is sponsored by the Rotary International. It has been going on for more than 90 years. Almost. It is the purpose of this GSE visit for the vocational and the cultural exchange. Of course, we are doing every alternate year from Nepal. And this year also we had the visitor from 7890 district, which covers Connecticut and Massachusetts to Nepal. 5-member team came to Nepal. And they had wide experience in vocation and their professional experiences. And that team also was led by a woman. Her name is Barbara Spiegel. And I am really honored to be here, of course, with the GSE team who are very dynamic and professional people. And
so were we chosen because we were dynamic?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
what made you choose us for us?
Of course, I feel very honored that I chose you people because there were so many competitors, right? But you were
tough competition. If I'm right, you said more than 150 people applied for this program.
And we shortlisted with 36 people and came down to 14 and again came down to 4, And we chose 2 to be in a waiting list. And no wonder, you have shown your talent and, capability. I'm really happy to be in the selection committee and, be the team leader of your group, really. That was really...
That sounds nice coming from her.
Yeah.
And I was proud to be in the selection committee, right?
And we're really proud that we made it, isn't it, Diana?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, for Diana and for all the team members, it was a dream come true to come to USA. So, Diana, how has this experience been so far for you?
It's been a lifetime experience for me because, because this is the first time I'm ever out of my country. And for that matter, I've taken a huge step around the globe to come to United States of America.
Oh, that was a long flight.
Yes,
oh my God.
a long flight.
More than 20 hours in the plane.
That's true.
That's really something.
Yes, and since this is a cultural and vocational exchange program, I get to see not only the culture part of the country, but then also I get to go to so many different places that I would not have dreamt of going, like different universities and hospitals, which my vocation took me to. So it's been a profound experience.
So how is it for you interacting with doctors and people from the medical fields, nurses? As far as I remember, some time back you also visited a class in Yukon. So how was that for you?
The education system and the hospitals here run very differently because there are lots of specializations. Like for example, back at our place, the nurses, they would not be doing one thing only. Here the nurses are very specific, like you have a nurse for admission and discharge, you have a nurse for as a case manager, you have a nurse to stake, you have a nurse to give the infusion, and so on and so forth. But back home, it's like one nurse will take care of everything, and you have a very holistic approach. There are pros and cons to it. but then it's different, and the teaching style is also very different. I got the opportunity to attend a research class, and they were teaching how to do the literature review and how to make your research more credible and reliable. So that was a very nice experience.
Okay, so that was from the vocational point of view. Now let's talk about the cultural point of view. Did you find any difference in American culture and the culture that we practice back home?
Lots of differences. I think I can only think of the differences right now because it's like from eating habits to how family members deal with each other, and that the children after high school they don't live with their parents, and the parents are all right with that. Lots of old age homes for the elderly people. I guess everything's different.
Yeah, everything's different. That's right. If you start listing it out, the time will not be enough. You've been here for at least, 18 times to the US, but for the first time you are leading a GSE team. So is the experience any different for you?
Oh, totally different. This is unique, it is a very memorable event for me, I've been the Rotarian, and when I came here, as a student, that was different. When you come here as a GSE team leader, you were treated so, wonderfully. People here in the US, they are very hospitable, they are so kind, they are open-minded, there is no discrimination. I found very, very, their generosity, towards. And when I came here, it was with business and all, I came to attend, because when my school time was, when I went to school in Michigan, I had only one host family. I was given during my period. I got my master's degree from University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. That was the time that I was assigned to one of the host families.
But here we have several host families.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, would you like to share your experience with the host families?
Host family, it is wonderful.
Here.
Yeah.
I know that there are so many families here all set to adopt us.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, so far they've just seen the good side of our personality. That's why they are ready to adopt us. But how's your experience been with them?
We had 5 host families, as you know, and there was a different experience with each host family, and they were really very wonderful. Like, for example, my first host family, I had the chance to stay with her for only 3 days. And I had to perform a dance in the district conference, and she was so nice enough. Even at the last moment notice, she went to the mall and then got me some candles and confettis that I required for the dance. It was like she was very nice. Cheryl and Tom and Colin, their son, they've been so nice to us. And then to Torrington, it was nice in Torrington because all the host families were taking us around together. You were there with me. And Pittsfield, West Springfield, Manchester, all the host families have been great. They have treated us like prince and princesses, and that's maybe one reason why I don't want to go back at all.
Me neither. Okay, if you had to choose one most memorable or one of your most favorite places that you visited in US, what would that be?
That's a tough one. Because
okay, I'll give you top 3.
Okay. Maybe Torrington, because we went to New York, and I got to go to Yale when I was in Torrington, and of course West Springfield was also very nice. I guess all the places we visited was absolutely stunning. I cannot be choosing from any one of them.
Any surprises that you got in your journey as a GSE team leader?
Of course, I've been to this place so many times, but this time I was taken back. I really moved with my visit. I went to one of the shelter where they put battered women, the relation to domestic violence. I'm really surprised to see then how women were treated so generously. They were given all the services they need, and that is what I thought that we need to do a lot back in our country. That is one of my greatest experience. We have not been able to do like that type of thing. In Nepal also there is cases of domestic violence, but we just neglected it. We think that it is, we take it for granted that woman has to, deal with these things. But here in all these different places where I visited, I get to see these places. It was wonderful. And another thing I visited was in one of the Springfield. That was the national planning body, you know, for the Pioneer Valley. It was wonderful, you know, dealing with all kinds of things, starting from the landscaping, land planning to, you know, sewage disposal, water disposal, health services, job opportunity for the jobless, in dealing with the immigrants, you know, training them for the, you know, language and whatnot. It is really, really wonderful program. It is kind of eye-opener for me, you know. Even for our local people in Nepal, we have not been able to do it.
And there are several club visits in surrounding areas as well. So any projects that you planned out with District 7890, any projects in the pipeline?
They were taking us to the, you know, the water sewage disposal plant, you know, but they were saying that since you are telling that, you know, in back country, we have to deal with the water. The people have not had access to safe water, and how they are dealing with the water project. But I am longing to see that, but time is running out, you know. But I get to know from their
So is there any new projects that you planned out?
Yeah, and wherever we went, you know, they are really very generous to extend their hand to work with all our 5 Rotary clubs. That these are, everybody said that please keep in touch and send your, you know, pipeline projects. We want to do projects for the country, like, you know, Nepal.
I guess major projects would be concerning health and education.
Health, education, women's empowerment, microcredits. They've been doing a wonderful job, you know. The clubs in the US, they have all international projects, you know, Indian with orphanage, Guatemala with water projects, you know, all different places. So they really express their, you know, view, and they are generous to us that, you know, they will be more than happy to do joint projects.
Now, Diana, you have to tell us about the food, the American food, your experience with the American food.
Like, you know, Bhumika, we've been so used to rice and lentils and curry and pickle
that's our
back
staple
home.
food.
Yes, that's our staple food. So, first thing is there are too many choices. I just cannot choose. The menu is Greek and Latin for me. I cannot choose from the menu, and I always have to take help from one of the host families. But it's been good. I'm not very fond of seafood, so that was a little bit of a problem for me. But I guess I have, you know, adjusted to that. And ice, of course. Americans
Iced
have
water.
ice in everything.
We are not used to iced water at all.
Yes.
We do have cold beverages, we have ice creams, we have beer and stuff like that, but no ice in the water, right?
Yes.
So if you had to pick one of your favorite foods, if you could take one thing back home, what would that be?
I guess I like the wraps.
Oh, okay.
Ice cream.
And there are so many varieties of wraps you could get. You could put in anything you want inside the wrap. So I think that's one of them.
It's really cool, yeah.
And well, as of now, we will be taking a short commercial break. Thank you so much for your time. And shortly after the break, you will be meeting 2 of our GSE team members. They are 2 young professionals, and they are boys, so you don't want to miss out on that one. So I would say stay tuned.
Salam.
Jam.
Shanti.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary clubs are making it happen through international scholarships to promote peace around the world. Rotary, humanity in motion.
Welcome back. You are watching Service Above Self, and today you're meeting Group Study Exchange Program team from Nepal. Right now I'm sitting with Girja Prasad Subedi, who is a teacher by profession, and Suraj Ratna Sakya, who is a photographer and he's also into new media. What is new media? We shall find out from him just about in a while. But as of now, Girja, can you tell our viewers about our country, Nepal?
Well, thank you, Bhumika. Nepal, as it is the country located right in the Asia, and roughly the area of the country is a little more than 56,000 square miles, and it is also known as the country of Himalayas all over. And we do have, you know, the Himalayas 8 highest peaks of the world out of 10. And so very rich in terms of cultural diversity, as well as rich in terms of ecological diversity. Plus we do find great varieties of climatic condition over there. So Nepal is really one of the unique places right in the world.
Absolutely. Do you want to tell them about how many multis that we have?
Yeah.
As in terms of diversity?
Yeah, our country Nepal is multi-religious, multilingual, multi-ethnic, and multicultural country. So a lot of multis there.
We have more than 92 languages.
Yeah, more than 92 different languages or dialects spoken, and we do have more than 103 ethnic groups right in our country. So we can find great variety of the culture over there.
Suraj,
Yes.
so firstly, would you like to tell us about your profession, as in what exactly
Is
is
new
new
media.
media?
Okay. By profession, I'm like full freelance photographer, and then new media is something that is like new in terms of new technologies. Like we do a lot of computer-related work, such as web designing, graphic designing, audio and video production, documentary making, and all those stuff. So to sum it all up, I think it's a little bit more than multimedia, so that's why it's called new media. So that's what I do back home.
So in your vocational visit here in District 7890, did you find any difference in terms of vocation that you practice back home, and something different, something new?
Yeah, the only difference I saw was in the price we quote. With the people who work the same here has a very standardized rates, and I think there's no much difference between the two designers on the price they quote, like minimum. Back home it's like you quote whatever you want, so that creates an unhealthy competitions, stuff like that. So yeah, I think here the people are more creative and open to new ideas, and that's it's something, it's an environment that I would love to work in. So yeah, that's the difference that I found here.
What about you, Girja? You visited a lot of schools, and you also were lucky enough to take classes too, right?
Yeah.
So how was it for you?
Yeah, it's totally new, and I met with a lot of students, and I got chance to visit different schools, and I guess I went to 5 different schools, and I talked about different culture of our country, and plus like what I came to know is like the system of education back at home to right in our country and here is totally different. And like I need to say that the students over here, they are blessed, because like the classrooms are well equipped, and especially while talking about the class practical sessions can be conducted right in the same class, and the projectors, the PowerPoints, and then
totally
the smart
state-of-the-art
boards,
technology.
yeah. So, but right in our case, we have a number of students right in the class. For example, like we need to teach near about 25 to 30 number of students right in the same class. But here I found right in Taft, I found only 10 students in one class, and next school in Pittsfield High School, I found only near about 20 students were there. But the thing is that if we can, the thing that we have learned I have learned over here is that like especially the students, they are more very close with the latest technologies, so that they are well known about what is happening over here right in the world. But back at home, if we have to take the students to the practical session, we need to take them to separate room, practical labs, computer labs, so it's totally different.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
But did your students here know anything about Nepal when you went in front of the class and said, I'm Girja, I'm from Nepal? What was their reaction?
No,
like?
I didn't come to know that. Like students over here, they were not known about where Nepal is, and only few of the students, they said that in between China and India. But the thing is, if we ask our student back at home, where United States is, and where the different state, California and other thing, they would point out this is the place right in this direction, and they are very good at geography back at home.
We had a good answer today at the school.
Yeah.
When we asked where Nepal is.
We went to East Hartford High School.
East Hartford, and one of the students said, like, we asked where Nepal is, and he said, not here.
Outside, out of USA.
Out of USA.
That's the answer that we got.
I think that student was just trying to play safe there, but that is cute too. And well, besides the vocational visits, there were a number of other touristic areas that we visited in Connecticut and Massachusetts. So, Suraj, if you had to pick one of your favorite places, what would that be?
My favorite place that I went but couldn't do what I wanted to do is New York. we went to New York, and my dream, like for you, might be a different, you know, looking at high-rise buildings. For me, it was to go to B&H Video, the shop, of camera shop, and I was really looking forward for that. And my host family, Robert and me, we dropped you guys somewhere, and then we had to walk for like 15 minutes to get to the shop to find out that it's closed because of Jewish holiday. So, you know, that really makes me think it as a favorite place, because I couldn't do anything that I want, but, you know.
Okay.
So, but yeah, New York
will be your favorite place. I think mine too. Wasn't it magical? It was absolutely surreal to walk in the Fifth Avenue and check out Times Square. Wow, that was awesome.
It was good.
And how can you forget our white limousine drive to New York City?
Maybe that's why we remember New York, right? Because of the white limousine.
But besides New York, Girija, if you had to choose your favorite place here?
The same, in front of Times Square, so New York.
I thought you would say quack quack, as in Boston doctor.
Yeah, that also I enjoyed a lot, and hope that you guys also enjoyed a lot. Quack quack and the dog tour. So, but rather than that, I choose, you know, just being in front of the Times Square.
I think each place has its own charm. So, yeah.
It's hard to choose.
It's hard to choose, but the thing that comes right in the front of our mind when anybody asks would be New York, Boston,
Now, this is our first visit to the USA, and we have done so many things for the first time in our life. Like you played golf, you rode a tractor, right? So tell us something about that. There's so many first times. I mean, you know, like you driving a car.
I drove a car, yes.
In West Springfield.
Yes, I did.
I also did the same.
You've driven more cars,
So
just to be on the safe side, we drove on a very safe lane, not on a busy street. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was inside our neighborhood, right?
Yeah. There are a lot of first things that we saw, like, what do you call it? In sync trash, something that grinds the
disposal, the garbage disposal in the sink. And
then the dishwasher, we don't use it back home as much, but here you have it, and then and 24-hour electricity. That's
electricity.
Something.
Oh yes,
that's something we have to be very blessed.
We have power cut for sometimes for
16 hours.
16 hours in a day, which is really something. And I mean, people are blessed here. Right?
Oh, and the speed of internet is like, you know.
Okay, now let's talk about food. Suraj, you are a major coffee drinker.
Yes, I am.
You just love drinking coffee. So, I mean, I could see that you were always there with a cup of coffee, and one of your host families also presented you.
Oh, I love coffee mug. Yes.
It's a travel mug.
Yeah, it is. I think, there have been a lot of fun events regarding coffee and me. Like one, if you remember in Torrington, what Robert did.
Mr. Robert Rovesi from Litchfield.
Litchfield, yes. The funny part was the first day we went to his house, he prepared us. Actually, the next morning he prepared us coffee in a 6-cup thermos or something, and it was not enough for us. And the next morning he did in 16. It was not enough, and he had a really big pot full of coffee just for me. And he said, usually he's not going to drink from that. It's only for me. So you know, so there've been a lot of coffee, and luckily I've been with a family.
He's been a great host, you know, Robert.
Yeah.
But besides that, all our family, host families, and all the clubs that has hosted us, they have left no stone.
They've supplied coffees, yes.
No, I mean, for making us feel so special. What would you say about your experience with the host families?
Yeah, you are true, Bhumika, right. Even though I have come to this opposite part of the globe, I feel that I'm still at home. So, just, you know, I have found the environment that I used to find at home, and it seems that living with the host family, I felt that I'm still living with my family members together. So there's no homesickness. Like before we came, you know, the previous GSE teammates, they used to say that like you will find homesick, and then you will, you know, try to return back home right in your earlier days. But it seems that they are wrong.
Yeah, so, and we have found our families here, our homes here, and we met people whom we can call friends for life.
Yeah.
Right? And soon we'll be leaving. Our 5 weeks tour to District 7890 is coming to an end. So what's going on in your mind right now?
The first thing is the suitcases that we are going to take back home.
Lots of gifts and shopping too.
And we've been like, I think you're the one who is getting in touch with the Continental Airlines, you know, trying to see how much we are allowed to take and not. So I think we have a mixed feeling, like we want to go home and we want to stay back. And one thing that we have in our itinerary is, I think that's tomorrow, that says GSE team returning home. So for me, it would be going back to where I came, like, you know, going back to my host family, but it's actually the home, my back Nepal. So we're struggling actually.
Yeah, with our emotions.
Yes.
It's going to be so hard to say goodbye, of course. Girija, when you look back to the 5 weeks that you've spent in US, what do you feel?
I feel that like I'm like each and every moment I enjoyed a lot over here, and you know, I found more than I expected over here. The reason is that I did a couple of things, lot of things for the first time right in my life. Like when I moved to here right in Manchester, the first day I told Ralph that like this spring, right in the spring season when the day is quite cool, I found a lot of people, you know, riding motorbike right on the street, and I said that I love to do this right on the street. And today, before I'm coming over here,
you got to ride a motorcycle,
Yeah,
that to a Harley Davidson. How cool is that?
So it means,
so
you know,
that's all possible because of
GSE,
GSE
the whole GSE
program,
GSE
right?
program.
This is an awesome program, and we just have to thank the
Rotary Foundation and the
for
Rotary
this
District
opportunity.
7890. So the full credit goes to the Rotary Foundation. So,
and I think we should also quickly seize the opportunity to invite everyone to our country. What do you say?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
Visit Nepal year 2011.
yeah, the government of our country has observed 2011 as the Nepal tourism year, and that's why, you know, as I told earlier before, that our country is multi-religious, multilingual, and we can find, you know, great varieties of biodiversity right in our country. That's why it would be
The
a
adventure
perfect
experiences.
destination.
Tell them about
And
the
yeah,
adventure experiences.
oh yeah, the 500 feet bungee jump right in the, you know, Botekosi River Gorge, as well as trekking, rafting, mountaineering, and even
Lots.
mountain flight, you know. So
And besides that, you also get to meet us in person. So yes, you can get in touch with us. You can visit our blog. That's GSE Nepal.
It's GSE 2011 Nepal.tumblr.com.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Thanks so
Suraj
much.
and Girija. And thank you for watching. We hope that this show has given you an insight to what Rotary International's Group Study Exchange program is, and one of the ways that Rotary helps to bring together people from all parts of the globe. For all of us here at Service Above Self, we remind you to go out and find a worthy cause and lend a helping hand. Or as we say in Nepal, seva nai dharma ho. So go out, find a worthy cause and lend a helping hand. Namaste.